Okay, so in this illustration, we really want to mark out what we know is corresponding to what. So angle I corresponds to angle M. So we've got this here corresponding to that. That's going to matter because these all are congruent, and so it makes it a little bit hard to know whether we're flipping or rotating or what we're doing. But since they tell us that angle 1 is congruent to angle M, and let's see, angle IJK is congruent to angle MJK, and excuse me, angle LKJ is congruent to NKJ, and angle L is congruent to angle N. Okay. So now that we know that, then we need to complete the congruence statement. Now, that's really helpful because we're just matching the vertices up, and so we can say what corresponds with what. Well, notice that for quadrilaterals and things of larger size, there's not a symbol like there is for triangle, so that's okay. But what we're going to do here is we're going to say, okay, what corresponds with each one? What corresponds with L? Well, L and N correspond, so we will say N. And then the next letter they list is K, so what corresponds with K? Well, as it turns out, K corresponds with itself. Now, you might say, but Mr. Massey, in the video last time, you said that we couldn't just name it as K. Well, what we're naming right now is not an angle, it's a vertex. The point where the two sides come together is different from the measurement of how far they're rotated apart. That hopefully makes sense to you. If you don't know the difference between an angle and a vertex, then ask me about that. That's worth a conversation, and it's worth getting clear in your head, because I can understand if you aren't clear on that. But there is an important distinction between them. Okay, so then they next list J, and J up on the top is congruent to J, or corresponds, I should say. The angles are congruent, the vertices are corresponding. And let's see, and finally, what corresponds with I, that is M. So we've got NKJM as our answer, and we're done with this problem.